Hi, welcome to Behind the Scenes with Axiom Medical. I'm your host, Jason McElhinney. If this is your first time joining us, this is a bi-weekly series where we interview the people behind the scenes here at Axiom Medical to make the company tick. We've interviewed a few different people over the past 7 or 8 months. Our Chief Marketing Officer, our Senior VP of Behavioral Health. We've interviewed HR people, ops people, all over the place. And today I'm pleased to bring you Erin Gull, who's a content marketing specialist. How are you, Erin?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Well, thanks for joining us today. And
Yeah.
let's go ahead. Why don't you introduce yourself to the world?
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Erin. I do content marketing for Axiom. So basically, what that means is I write. I'm a writer. Any of the marketing pieces, mostly sales copy, I have written or seen or edited or something like that. So, yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. And how long have you been with the company?
Almost a year. In May, it'll be a year.
Wow. It's flying by. It seemed like 5 minutes ago it was March of 2020, and now it's
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah. It's
Bizarre.
insane. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah. And so what were you doing before you joined us here at Axiom Medical?
Before Axiom, I was actually head of communications at a pharmaceutical company here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, where it was a smaller specialty pharma company. And yeah, I did public relations and did a little bit of investor relations as well, which was new to me at that point. But it was fun. It was a fun challenge.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot of people from different walks of life here at Axiom Medical, and one of the things is you could start at this company, and then a year later you might be in a completely different role depending on who and what you want to do. So that's great. So you're from the Nashville area. Well, you are currently in the Nashville area, but yes. I understand you're a bit of transient, multi-state liver.
Yeah. So when people ask me where I'm from, I say I don't quite know where I'm from. I have lived in the state of Tennessee, combined total the longest of all the states, but I've lived in a total of 10 states over the course of my life. I was born in Illinois, but I didn't live there for very long. So I tell people I grew up in Memphis, and then I had a lot of my young adulthood in Ohio. But then in between there, I lived in a bunch of different states. And now I've been in Nashville since 2009. So it's been a hot minute. So I've been here for a while.
Hot minute. Hotter than a $2 pistol, as they say in Nashville. I have one of those fridge magnets on my fridge.
Nice.
I myself am a bit of a mutt. I was born and raised in Ontario, just outside of Toronto. I lived in Toronto. I lived in a bunch of towns in Ontario, but also lived in Alberta, on Banff, lived out in a bunch of places in British Columbia. I lived in Montreal and moved to Texas in 2004. So I've been here almost 18 years now, I guess.
Okay. So in Nashville, we would call you a new native. So Nashville, native. Yeah, Nashville has a lot of transient people. Like, people come to Nashville, and you're not allowed to be considered a native until you've been here at least 10 years. But you're called a new native. So I'm a new native.
That's funny. I've never heard that before. Yeah. I don't consider even though I've been in Texas for 18 years, I don't consider myself a Texan. I feel like I have to be born here to be considered a Texan.
Yeah. Texans take their Texas pride very, very seriously. So I don't doubt that.
They sure do. They sure do. One of my favorite bumper stickers when I first moved down here was, I wasn't born here, but I got here as quick as I could.
I like it.
Texas and Canada are kind of similar in their pride. Canadians are very prideful, but they don't necessarily show it. Texas do show it, but if you ask somebody, where are you from? Like, I'm from Texas. Oh, then I'm American.
So do Canadians just apologize for their pride?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry. People always give me grief because, just jokingly give me grief because I'm Canadian. I'm like, everybody in the world thinks Canadians are nice. I mean, that's kind of a great image to have. So
yeah, it is.
So, let's talk about Nashville. You've been in there for a little while. Myself and Autumn Brennan met up with you a couple weeks ago. We were down in Chattanooga filming Dr. Les Curte, our Senior VP of Behavioral Health, for a special project that we're going to be announcing shortly. Can't give anything away. But Autumn and I ran into you and went to a fantastic vegan restaurant.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Do you remember the name of that restaurant?
I want to say was Sunflower Cafe, maybe. That
Very good.
sounds possibly right. Oh, it was delicious though. I do need to look it up. I had one of the best vegan cupcakes, one of the best cupcakes hands down, but it happened to be vegan in my entire life there. It was so good.
It was really good. Yeah, I also had a cupcake that was delicious. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about your husband and the fun things that you guys have done.
Okay.
Like a lot of people, when COVID hit, started up new hobbies or new
Yes.
whatever. And you and your husband have started up a new hobby. What did you say, about a year ago?
Yeah, it's been about a year. We started talking about it longer than a year ago, but it actually began about last April, so almost a year.
And what is that? What do you call that?
It is a whiskey tube channel, or a YouTube channel where we basically drink whiskey and talk about it, which is so random, but it's also so fun. My husband and I both met because we were wedding photographers. So we have this creativity side to us that ever since we started dating, we wanted to do a creative project together. And we would go back and forth about what it could be, and nothing seemed to fit. And we'd be downstairs just sipping whiskey, and he'd ask me questions about it. He likes to nerd out, and I'd be like, oh, this tastes like stinky feet. Or I get like, one of my favorite things was, one of the tasting notes I got was this, I think it was a nosing note. Like, I smelled it and I was like, this smells like a rocking chair at the Cracker Barrel, like very specific.
Amazing.
And he was like, why don't we just do that and film it? And so we do, and it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. You had mentioned it to me when you first started, and I watched a few of the videos. I think you and your husband obviously have a great chemistry, and it's a lot of fun. And this is a blooper video that we're watching right now of them. But I understand, it's all fun and games, and you guys are having a great time, and you're killing time during COVID. But you actually put this to good use, I understand.
Yeah, so we started, that blooper video was our very first video, and it launched like the end of April last year. And then by the time October hit, we had a significant number of people following us. Like, it was enough where YouTube monetized us, and we could get super chats if we do live streams. And so we decided, if people were going to give us a platform, we were going to use it for good. And so last October, in honor of World Mental Health Day, we did like a charity fundraiser live stream and did some bottle giveaways to raise money. And we raised over $15,000 for a mental health charity called To Write Love on Her Arms. And it was a charity that was really important to us. And so I think we've decided we're going to do that every October. And this year, our goal is to double it. So we're already talking to our YouTube community and trying to get bottle donations so we can get a lot of money raised for that charity. So it was cool.
That's amazing. And if you haven't, one of my monitors hidden here, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's Stuff and Whiskey, got over 4,000 subscribers. Great numbers for just a year of being in that. You're obviously, you've got an engaging and enjoyable YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, thank you. We have fun doing it. And when we started this, I told my husband, I said, once I stop having fun, I'm not doing it anymore, because there's no point. But it started out that way, and then the community grew, and everyone's so nice. Like, I'm not on a lot of other social media platforms because I've found people to be mean. And every one of our YouTube followers, our subscribers, everyone's just so nice, and it's just a community. And I love the community aspect that we've built. So that in and of itself makes it fun. So he can stop being fun, and I'll still have fun with everyone else.
Yeah, it's true. When you see amazing things that happen in humanity, you're like, wow, maybe we do have a chance. And then you go to a comment section of a website, you're like, I don't think so.
Yeah. It's insane. It's so disheartening sometimes. So, but I don't find that on YouTube at all. So that's why we're there. It's good.
That's great. Well, you guys, like I said, you definitely have something that's quite engaging that people want to watch and enjoy. So that's fantastic. And the fact that you raised $15,000.
I wish 15 million. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. but $15,000 for a mental health initiative, and that's something that our company, Axiom Medical, takes pretty seriously as well. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show some comments that are coming in.
Okay.
Holly says, "New native, LOL."
It's a Nashville thing. I don't know.
Right. I think we may have to adopt it in Houston. Christy said, Erin Gull, truly a bright light on the marketing team. Well, thank you, Christy. And we've got a LinkedIn user. We have no idea who that is. Hello from Houston.
Hello from Nashville to Houston.
So you and your husband Josh, you've got that channel. What else do you do outside of that? What else makes you happy? Do you have any other hobbies outside of drinking whiskey with your husband?
I mean, that honestly kind of takes up a lot of my free time when he's not working and I'm not working. I also have recently rediscovered my love for reading. I used to love to read a ton when I was younger, and then adulting happened and that kind of fell by the wayside. But I got a Kindle for Christmas and I have been just like devouring books at a rapid succession. So it's been fun. I try to always have like one nonfiction and one fiction book going on at the same time, because nonfiction is a little bit harder for me to digest. I go through it slower. And then fiction is like my, turn my brain off sort of vibe. So I like to have at least one of those going at the same time or alternating between the two. So that's been my hobby when we're not filming for YouTube.
That's great. I love reading. I love my Kindle. I recently upgraded my Kindle. I had one for, 5 years. I actually left it on a bench in LaGuardia.
Oh, no.
I thought I'm never going to see that back, but I found out there's a website. If you lose something in LaGuardia, you can file a claim and they'll try to find it. I actually found it. I got it back like 6 months later.
Oh, wow.
But I love my Kindle. It sits by my bed every night. I'll read a little bit. I just finished a book about the oral history of Saturday Night Live. So it's about all the people that were on it.
Oh,
and
that
it's not
sounds
necessarily anyone outside of the show. It's either hosts or people that were on the show that talk about it. It's fantastic. Great book.
I would love that. Tina Fey is one of my favorites. So and Jimmy Fallon. I always say before I met my husband, obviously, if I could have dated someone that was like a combination of Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake, that would have been like my perfect thing. So yeah, I think I would enjoy that book.
Yeah, it's great. I forget what it's called, but I'll send you a message.
Okay.
And it's on the Kindle. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm listening to an audiobook from it's called That Will Never Work. I think that's what the title is. It's by one of the co-founders of Netflix. And it's basically just talking about how they started Netflix. And it was almost like not going to happen. And it was like one of many ideas that they just tried. And I think originally they named it, I can't remember, something else, but it's really interesting. I didn't think it would be like a business book, but there's a lot of business strategy that they talk about in the book. And I've been listening to it on audiobook so I can go on walks and listen to it. And it's been really, really entertaining.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. I'll send you the link. I think his name is Mark Randolph. He's one of the co-founders of Netflix, and you can look that up, I'm sure, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, what an amazing story that was. I mean, I think I remember you used to be able to like mail off and get DVDs from Netflix. I think I actually, in a moment of bad decisions, I think I rented You Don't Mess with the Zohan, that Sandler movie.
Okay.
I forgot to send it back, so I bought it for like $40, and that's probably one of the most sore spots in my life. No offense.
It's one of the most expensive movies you've ever seen.
Yes. And I don't even think I finished it. I think I got halfway through. I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Let's go back to some comments. So we got Dom. She's the content to my design. She gets me working on a team with her. And Dom also wants to know when you're dropping some stuff in whiskey merch.
Oh, we have Stuff and Whiskey merch. Go to stuffandwhiskey.com. STUFFAND whiskey with an E.com. And there is a storefront there that I worked on for hours every weekend. And we have some merch there. We've got dad hats, which I just got. We've got T-shirts, sweatshirts, which any of the marketing team, if you see me on our marketing meetings in the mornings, I'm usually wearing my gray or pink Stuff and Whiskey sweatshirt.
Oh, that's
yeah. We've got other things on the horizon that I've got plans for, but again, it just takes up a lot of time, and I can only do it for, weekends and nights. So it's slow going, but it's cool. It's fun.
There you go, Dom. Get on there. Start
So
ordering.
You can get your merch, Dom.
Yeah, get this 10-ounce insulated tumbler for $22. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you got your dad hat.
Mm-hmm. I just bought myself one. My husband has the Navy one, and I got one because I was jealous that he had one. It looks so good on him, so we'll see.
That's awesome. Well, there you go, Dom. You got your question answered. Well, let's see. Sarah has a question. Can we get a whiskey recommendation for St. Patty's tomorrow?
Oh, see, I am not the one for recommendations. I give tasting notes like rocking chair. My husband, he is the one for recommendations, but I will say I will probably be drinking Wild Turkey Rare Breed,
Okay.
Which is one of my favorites now. And their rye is really good. I really like rye. So if we have some rye, I'll probably be drinking that. So we have some whiskey back there, and then my husband keeps the rest back in his room, in his closet on the floor.
So much. I collected beer for years, and my friends ended up opening a brewery here in Houston called Eureka Heights. And whenever we would sit around and drink, I would always, just give like really bad tasting notes. Like, I'm getting a lot of horse blanket on this one.
That's a great tasting note. I know exactly what you mean.
Right, but I would say it on everything, like a fruity IPA, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you were just trying to be difficult, weren't you, Jason?
Yes. So we got a comment here from Anna. Said, we love Erin. Her choice of philanthropy for mental health and vegan restaurants speak volumes about her kindness, compassion, and heart. And yes, it was the Sunflower Cafe.
Sunflower Cafe. If you're in Nashville and you like vegan food, or you don't even have to like it, it's just really good. Go to it. You will like it.
Yeah, it was delicious. And I'm always amazed because as a Canadian, I always have these sort of preconceived notions of, like, especially southern towns. I'm like, they're not going to have a vegan restaurant. And there was a plethora of vegan choices in Nashville, which is fantastic.
There are a lot here. There's also your nice hot chicken places as well. So you gotta mix it up. You gotta keep it fresh.
We got a lot of Nashville hot chicken here in Houston. So what does the future hold for Erin? What do you guys got any trips planned?
We normally do like an annual trip to see my family every summer. We do this thing called Cousins Camp, where us, the adults, I have a lot of siblings. I have 7 sisters and 1 brother. And so all of us that have kids, even the ones that don't have kids, we all go to my parents' house and put on a camp for our children. So it's a blast every year. I think we adults end up having just as much fun as the kids. So we'll be doing that this year. And then that's the first half of 1 week. And then the second half of that week, we're going to meet my husband's family in Branson, Missouri, which I've never been there. I think we're going to go camping or something like that. It should be fun. They're fun. So we'll have a good time regardless.
That's great. That's awesome. I've never been to Branson, Missouri, but again, that's one of those places like you hear of as a Canadian, you're like, is it just like a southern Las Vegas or something? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not looked up any information about it. I probably should before we go. So
well, fantastic. But apart from that, what's on the horizon besides trips? What do you got planned?
I mean, Josh and I always joke that we're boring. Like we bought a house during COVID, and so we just like working on our house. We are currently trying to keep our landscaping alive. When we bought the house, it had beautiful landscaping done, and we are not like well-versed in keeping up landscaping. So that's our big project this summer, is to not let our plants die outside.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Well, any parting notes? You wanted to, any wise words or anything you want to share with people before we hop off here?
No, I don't know. I don't really have many wise words, but I do want to thank you for asking me to come on. It's been fun. Way less scary than I thought it was going to be. I just, we're just talking. So there's no one else here. It's all good.
No, I mean, there are, I think I ran the numbers earlier. There are about 87 billion people watching right now. So that's
sweet.
Fine.
Okay, cool. I'm not sweating. It's all good. Good thing you can't see.
My
No,
numbers
it's fine.
my numbers may be off by about 87 billion on that.
Okay, cool. That works.
We're good. Well, thank you, Erin. I appreciate you for stopping by and letting the world know who you are. And for everyone else out there, we'll see you next time.
Yep.